Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. It's such a beautiful day today. You're not seeing our faces for the first time in a
Yeah,
few days,
good
Brian.
point.
You're seeing the fast main track. You see the Tapeta, unfortunately, off the grass, but we will be. Oh, look at that! I
Yeah.
mean, this is just. We'll be back on the grass next week. We just got so much rain the past couple days. Let it dry out today. Be ready for Florida Derby week. But man, Brian, they do such a good job with our track here. Look at that fast track.
Yeah, the weather looks really good for curling Florida Derby Day, so that's pretty exciting. We are off the turf. We just got so much rain down here, as
Yeah.
everybody that was watching along with us, you could see it behind us, you could see it in front of us, and it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but we'll take a couple days off, and I'm sure we'll be raring to go. Those cards are drawn. We drew that 14-race curling Florida Derby Day card in its entirety yesterday. You saw the draw that you and Ron hosted, and the stakes galore, 10 of them, 6 of them graded. Those past performances are out.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and
It is.
it's the culmination of what's been a really big championship meet.
It is. It's the races on Saturday are
Yeah.
incredible. Regardless on your thoughts of the crop of 3-year-olds that is happening this year, it's such an amazing card. It's a great Florida Derby. Got some locals involved and some young faces with the Nell Cordero. And
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking about it for the first time now. If one of the 3 favorites, and I say certainly Fierceness, but even Hades and Conquest Warrior, I'm just kind of thinking about this as you were talking. If one of those 3 horses wins, Fierceness especially, they have every right to actually be favored in the Kentucky Derby because
They do.
the Florida Derby's been such a precursor to Derby success. Just 1 year ago, Mage did it. So
Yeah.
front and center on Saturday. Good, thank you, boys. I appreciate that. We'll show it later too. The guys upstairs are great. But
Yeah.
here you go now. I do think, regardless of how they bet it, I could have made Hades with the draw second choice and Conquest Warrior third choice. Regardless, the 3 main contenders, we'll call them, are going to be all real 3 heavily bet horses, and then you're going to have some prices down and below.
Yeah, I think it's an incredible morning line.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I was talking to David in the office, and even, the beauty of this race in and of itself is you can still, let's say, you think one of the 3 favorites is going to win. I said with Frankie's Empire ran second, you wouldn't be surprised. Grandmo the First was second in the Tampa Bay Derby. Real Macho ran so well, 2 back. Ladom Bro, of course, as you mentioned. So it's a really, really intriguing, good race. I can't wait to see it, to shut it all down on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing, and that's what's so great about betting is, I said it right before the Holy Bull. If Fierceness stubs his toe, these are not machine animals. Something can happen, and it was Hades. So you truly never know. That's what makes this game so much fun.
No, can't wait for it, and we're going to have all week to talk about it. But we got a big Rainbow Six
We do.
now, and
Oh,
we're going
huge
to
one.
pay that out next weekend at some point. But boy, look at this thing now, 7 1/4. It's massive.
It is, yeah, and we've got dirt racing today, fast track, like I mentioned. The first race is on the dirt track here today. It's a start of the early pick 5, and Brian, excited to see what you do on your ticket.
Let's take a look at it now. It started out as $120. It's not going to appear that way. It's going to appear as 48. So when I came in today, I had a little work to do to shave this thing down a little bit. 4 by 3 early in race number 2. The top pick is the 8, and that's Guau. In race number 3, there's your single in there, Awesome Anne Marie for Pete Walder, and then a 2 by 4 double to get me hopefully out of this sequence. In race number 4, we go almost to the outside with a 9 Phobia for Jose D'Angelo. A little better post today, not a ton, but a little bit better. And in race number 5, and again, we are unfortunately off the turf. I didn't make the morning line. I can't do it this way with the morning line, but I'm sure you did the same. All my selections were Tapeta based anyway. We kind of knew
By this point
what was going on here with our pick deadline, not the line deadline, but Mr. Abario for me, the 2 horse on top in race 5. So there's $48 for me.
We scratched the 1, 12, 5 maidens on this 6 furlong sprint. Fast main track. You're on the 8 Field of Blossoms. Second off the claim for Bobby DeBona. Back on the dirt.
Yeah, I think the big thing to me is it's going to be on the dirt for the first time for this barn. Didn't really run all that well on the Tapeta, but we're back on the dirt. It's a spread race for me too. I wouldn't want a 3-2. I wouldn't want to take a short number at the window on this horse, but that's where you've got him in the mix as well. I went 4 deep in here.
Yeah, the 2 is interesting. Goes on. because there are a couple horses in this field trying the dirt for the first time.
Yeah, I'm surprised you actually didn't land on this horse.
Yeah.
For Nick Gonzalez, got bet a little bit last time on the drop. Nick's a Woodbine guy, and he comes down here each winter and does a pretty good job with a limited amount of starters. Well, what's going on here now? Hey, Irad, you want to ride for me? I mean, it's right there in front of you, so you can see him very early in the betting, but as I look at the board, he's 3-2. Lasix is going to go on after chasing on the Tapeta, so I think goes on's a big player in here.
You do have the 6 in the mix, and I'm glad you do because I found a cool stat for Bob Hess, and I think you're going to like this here as well. Look at this route to sprint on the dirt at Gulfstream. This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby got to win the other day. Yesterday brought back
roll on Big Joe.
Big Joe, right? Yeah. Boy, was he good. Showing a different dimension, too. Yeah. Got run off his feet, and he's a speedball. It didn't matter to him. So that's good. What's going on with Kozanka?
Well, Kozanka to me is a horse that the sloppy track effort last time was the first time she ever got on the dirt. And I think I mentioned this the other day. Horses that are trying the dirt for the first time and they get slop hit on their bellies, that's not all fun. Trust me, I've been on them, and it's not fun when that happens. So I just think that now that she's got a fast track and they're going to keep her sprinting, I like to come back to her. Yeah.
Yeah, because this could, in theory, this is kind of sort of her first start on the dirt today.
Exactly.
And she showed speed last time, so I can see it.
Yep. Race 2. It is scheduled for the turf. We're on the Tapeta. It's 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. We scratched the 1 and the 7 from this spot here. Brian will tweet out his early pick 4 ticket. He is on the 8. He's on the 8.
I'm going to go with Guau. Pete will the boss upstairs. Okay. We're going to get back to the Tapeta. Okay, that's big. And again, all these picks were Tapeta-based picks, so I didn't need to do any bobbing and shaking here. What are we going to do on the Tapeta now for the first time for Jerry O'Dwyer? Run with Lasix and run with blinkers. Tapeta debut was a pretty darn good effort. And, the Tapeta, here's the other thing, and no disrespect to Skylar Spanabelt at all. Luis Saez is going to ride today, and to me that says it's go time.
And the horse has some speed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Louis will put some into him, too.
Yeah. The 6 Dixie Preach, you look at the form, the Tapeta is, I think, I know buyers say differently, one of the best races.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I worry about the lack of early speed here.
Yeah.
Junior's going to have his work cut out for him. He's going to have to put this son of Mohamed into the race a little bit, but you're right. It's clearly right there. The Tapeta race is the one that you got to focus on, and it was a pretty solid effort.
Yeah, and the 2 Homer Jones, you're going to get a short price. It's Iran. This horse doesn't have to win first off the claim, though.
Mike Trombetta does a good job. It's not a big stat. He's 0 for 12 off the claim. So I just said, and we know Kelsey Danner's solid, so we're going to have to move this one up. And honestly, I know it was debut, and it was against better. Tapeta run was not very good.
No, it was not at all. Race number 3. It is 6 furlongs on this fast main track. We scratched the 1, Sophia's Storm from this race. Lionel Reyes will ride the 7, Martha May Huvier, and the 6 for you, Awesome Anne-Marie.
Yeah, it's just kind of right there. Maybe she regresses a little bit, but that last race last time was just a big-time effort. Second off the claim for Pete Walder, so I kind of maybe think he figured her out a little bit, and he's right back with her now in this spot. And this is also, to me, it's a great post for her because Principia is 2 on the morning line, and she's going to take some beating and some money in here, but Awesome Anne-Marie is outside of her, and she's not letting her get too far away.
Yeah, let's pull up the replay of Principia and Adios Babe here. Adios Babe just didn't have a great go of it here as far as the way this track plays a lot of times. And Principia ran like a mad woman.
Yeah, she ran big.
And this was 2 in a row for her now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And she's probably going to – well, here's the thing. What's going on with the Tampa Invader down on the inside? Sassy Charlie, because she's bringing some heat from across the state.
That's what I like,
I wonder if that's a little bit of a problem for Principia. You're going to try to wire her with her.
Yeah, I like her just because I didn't necessarily like the Principia race, the Sophia Storm race. I was just trying to stay away from those races.
I'm with you 100% on that. And she's much faster, at least – pace-wise, she's much faster than Principia, too.
Yeah. Race 4, 1 mile and a 16th on the Tapeta, maiden 12 fivers here. It is a clean race of 11. The number 9 Phobia on the class drop, and you mentioned a better post.
Maiden 12 fivers. I like that. We're going to run on the Tapeta for the first time for Jose D'Angelo. I think we can draw kind of sort of a line through the last race.
Yeah.
When you're 11 of 11 going a mile, you got no chance. On the turf, excuse me.
Right.
You got no chance. I didn't like the Tapeta race 2 back, but I feel like now with Jose, and he's going to immediately come back to the Tapeta. Maybe he likes something here. She's supposed to be a price as well, so we'll see what we get from her.
The one Please Baby is exiting that aforementioned 2 starts back race and getting Jorge Ruiz.
Yeah.
I like this move.
This is actually when I tweet out my early 4 ticket. I put this horse in. It was $72 on the early 5. I didn't want to do that. I put her in on the early pick 4. Lack of speed worries me, but I do agree with that. And, I mean, stop betting Barry the Builder, everyone. No.
Barry the Builder is just unanimously the horse that you should just stay away from. Now first off the claim, this horse will probably fill things out underneath, but I don't know what Amador Sanchez can do that Mike Maker couldn't have done to get this horse in the winner's circle.
Mike Maker, Mike Dubb, and, Amador's 5 for 11 off the claim. That's great, but it's just all right there in front of you. When you're 0 for 15 and 6 times you've run underneath at 11 to 10, at 17 to 10, at 8 to 5, at evens, at 2, 5 to 2. You just can't play this horse.
No,
you got to fade him, and and the beauty of it is he's 9 to 5 on the morning line. He might be lower than that.
The thing is if you're spending the money to include him anyway, and he wins, you're not going to make anything anyway.
No, I mean, listen, if you're playing a serious early pick 5, early pick 4 ticket, you've got prices around him. I'm not going to tell you not to use him, but if you're going to be tight, he's just the type of horse I think you need to draw a little bit of a line in the sand on.
Yep, I agree completely. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got Ron Nicoletti's Rainbow 6 ticket, the Tropical Tapeta pick 3 ticket. We'll be right back.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on this picture-perfect Sunday afternoon. We've got 10 races on the card. That means that Rainbow 6 begins in race number 5. Ron Nicoletti's got the ticket, and I'll let you do the honors here.
Truly a fun in the Sunday here in Hollandale Beach, and we love that. You can see Ronnie 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 to start off this rainbow. Now, don't forget, $725,000 is in the gross jackpot guarantee. So it's going to be a big, big pool today. And get involved. We've got a fast main track. Unfortunately, we are off the turf today. The weather's beautiful, so we don't anticipate any worries there. But this is a very solid sequence, even with the off-the-turf races. Now, you can see in race number 9, that Ronnie is singling in race number 9, and we're going to go with, who's his single out there?
It is Candyman Rocket.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Candyman Rocket is his single, but on a pretty steep class drop as well. And in race number 10, top pick, well, he's going 3 deep in there. He doesn't have my top pick, so we'll see what's going on there. Well, my top pick's a 20-1 long shot, so I think that makes sense in there. But 48.60 for Ron Nicoletti, and he'll be out here with in the opener with me.
Also, the Tropical Turf Pick 3 ticket, or Tropical Tapeta Pick 3. $36 play for me. I've got my long shot in race 10. Let's see how I did here with a long shot. Oh, 12-1. All right. That's the 4 to end things for Dale Roman. So we'll see how that plays out. Very player-friendly bet. Race 5. Off the grass, on the Tapeta, a mile and a 16th. We scratched the 3 And we scratched the 8 and the 9, both on the 2. Mr. Abario looks the horse to beat.
That was 12-1 on the turf. I don't know about that.
No,
now.
okay. Well,
you got a lot of all-weather form
that's
there
fine.
in the last.
Okay.
You got Jose Ortiz, too, which is a good thing because he has been rolling as well. It's a good finale, though.
It is.
Really good finale. Off the turf, unfortunately. It's still, regardless. Mr. Abario now is going to – another horse now going to run on the Tapeta for the first time for Jose D'Angelo. Actually has a win over the surface.
Yeah.
It didn't set any land or speed records, but now I think we're a better horse anyway. And, you know, Jose got some real improvement out of him on the turf last time, too. So I think that bodes well here.
I think it does as well. Palace View in the mix as well.
Sure.
Not a lot of early speed, though.
No, and that's a problem. And Irad's going to have his work cut out there to really kind of get in the game early, I think.
Yes. Race 6, it is the start of the late pick 5. I have got the ticket. It includes our feature race, the Melody of Colors that is now on the Tapeta. It's a $60 play for me. I'm spreading a little bit. You see my best bet in race 9, and that is Sweet Cherry Pie. Race 10, I do have my long shot. But I also am playing the 2 Todd Pletcher trainees that book in the field, the 1 and the 12. Not a lot separating those two, I feel like. Let's get into race number 6 here. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. We scratched the 4, and we have Hope in Him back, but both of us on the 7 here.
Yeah, Hope in Him's got to be faded to me. It feels like he's maybe a little over his best.
Yeah.
I did think he ran well on the turf last time, but Outlaw Country is my best bet of the day. You've got him on top as well. He's just going to sit a really nice trip in here because they're going to be flying early. Anytime Hope in Him is in a race, you know, he's going to fly early.
Right.
Of late, he's had trouble seeing it out. And I think that puts Outlaw Country in a really good spot off a really good second last time to Commandant, who just freaked that day.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just a good race to come back to. You got the 2 in the mix as well, Super Success. Well, you just have him under second because you said that's your best bet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. He's underneath. I don't like his lack of early speed, at least last time, but it's Fernando Abreu and Powder Pop, and you just gotta put a circle around him.
Yep, play
Simple as
against
that.
them at your own risk. Race number 7, they're state-bred fillies, allowance optional claimers. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. We scratched the 1 and late pick 4.
Yeah, let's take a look at it now. It's a $15 late 4 ticket for me, just a couple deep here in race number 8. Now that's the Melody of Colors, unfortunately, off the turf. I was really looking forward to seeing El Torino run on the turf. We know what she can do on the Tapeta. She can run lightning fast early. I'm singled to Candyman Rocket. I have no problem. I think you said your best bet's in there. I have no problem going against him. But I'm going to mention something when we get to that race, why I think he's okay in there. And my long shot is in race number 10. I always assumed it would be on the Tapeta. I don't know. Rogers Park is loose to me on the stretch here, and we're going to just take a deep breath for about a minute and 41 seconds and hope that she forgets to stop.
You love playing those Tom Proctor horses here. All right.
Ocean Club won yesterday,
I know,
of course, without me after should have won it 6-1 on the turf, 2 back.
There you go. So this is a race that a few of them are exiting the same party here. You're on the 8. Lovin' makes sense. And let's pull up this race. Now, this isn't where Lovin' makes sense wins, but this is the race 2 starts back, and we've got Starship, Sunrise, and Gitana as well.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it was a there off you lose race,
But it was.
but it kind of sort of was. Her head was turned at the start. She had trouble mid-race. Cavu was pretty good for Cherie DeVoe, and he didn't stop that day. She didn't stop that day, excuse me. I think they're going to bet this horse. I initially had this horse as the third choice, actually. They bet these Julie Stormfeld horses quite a bit. Tyler knows her. We come off a win last time, albeit against Lesser. I don't think she had a fair go of it in the race we just showed you.
No, but she also had her head turned the last start as well. So, I mean, it's just kind of interesting the way she just creates her own problem in the gate. But she's drawn well here. Now, the 6 Starship Sunrise we saw on that replay, she was running on late, and now she's going to get an extra half furlong, and that helps.
Yeah, the worry for me is third start off the elongated layoff. That can be the best, but how much more does she have to give? That's what
true.
I wasn't sure about, but she's a must-use use A if you're playing a serious ticket.
The 3 Gitana, she's just kind of the same as Starship Sunrise, right?
Yeah, I think she's a lesser version of her,
Yeah.
and you got to go back. She's lost 5 straight in a row with kind of middling finishes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
She's a bit hard to trust. Race 8, it's our feature, the Melody of Colors. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta track here. Off the grass, we scratched the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 8 from this spot. But what's interesting about this race is it leaves horses with previous Tapeta form already. You've got the 3 El Terreno, who she was a freak last out.
Yeah, so we saw it play out yesterday in the brother race where Mike DePaula won with the Woodbine horse. Yeah. And that horse, they all had Tapeta form. We're going to see it here. I initially had Tiger Bell on top.
I did too.
This is the one I switched, especially with the speed. Trumpets comes out of this race. You got to watch El Terreno. She is freakishly fast. Yeah. And boy, oh boy, they're going to have to catch her. I really wanted to see her on the turf. We have no issues about her on the Tapeta.
No, we don't. I do think she'll get some company.
It's possible.
Though up front, maybe. Let's pull up the replay of Pretty Liam, Twirling Queen, and Dot here.
Yeah, I'm not buying any of these troubled lines. Pretty Liam had the length of the stretch to win this race, and he couldn't do it. Listen, it wasn't the ideal trip. I won't fight you there. He's 3-5. He's going to get out in plenty of time. I didn't like this race at all.
Yeah, I think that's fine. This horse, she was just a bit of a chicken going up the rail here, but, she is a filly. Now, Dot, we'll see her closing in this race as well. She ran such a big race on debut that I just almost wonder if that came back to her a little bit.
She was awesome on debut.
Yep, so that's the only I originally had the 2 on top as well for the grass, and I switched it. I put Pretty Liam on top. I'm going to give her one more shot here for the benefit of the doubt.
I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah.
Now, the 2 horses that ran in front of her were 30-1s, but she was also 3-5 in an 11-horse field, so they're kind of just all blown up. So, maybe they weren't really like 15-1.
Exactly. The 10 Kyara, 3 wins in a row now for this filly.
3 wins in a row, and all 3 have been faster than the one before.
Yeah.
She's got speed. She did well to draw outside El Terreno. The problem is, and this is why I kept my 2 horses in second and third, they can come from off the pace. I don't think any of these speed fillies they're gonna be like, what the heck is that horse doing? I'm not ready to do that.
I don't want to be a part of that. Yeah,
I'm not ready to do that.
What's interesting is I looked at this race on the sheets, the thoroughgraphs, just out of curiosity, because Kyara just looks like on the buyers that she's getting better. Yeah. She is not improved on the sheet numbers at all. Just 999, and that to me, and I'm glad you have her a little bit lower because I would have fought you on that she's just not breaking through. She's good, but she hasn't broken through, and that's a problem in this race.
Yeah, when you look at the sheets and you got the stuck in neutral figures, that's not good at all.
No.
I agree with you totally there.
Yep. It's a good feature nonetheless. Unfortunately, we are off the grass, but on the Tapeta, this is going to be a fun race to watch.
No doubt.
For sure. Race number 9, I guess the Coco feature, I would say, because there are stakes quality horses in this race. It's allowance optional claimers 4 and up, 6 furlongs on the fast main track here. This is a really good field of 9. We've got Candyman Rocket. We'll show the replay, and I'll let you talk about him because I know you're giving him another chance.
Well, I don't think it's another chance. I think he ran a winning race. He just caught a horse that I'd bet you a beer. Run Classic might not lose a race this year. I mean, when Run Classic wins like this off the layoff at 6 furlong, you just got to tip your hat and golf clap to him. I'm going to play him next week in Dubai.
Yeah.
I mean, you better look out now. Candyman Rocket, he's probably like, wait, I'm winning. What happened here? And he got blitzed. So initially, I didn't want to pick him. Initially, I said, well, why isn't he in a stakes? I don't like this at all. And then go back last year, okay, Bill Mott took him to Oaklawn after he won the Gulfstream Park Sprint, and he just didn't run.
No.
Okay? He just didn't like that track. You know this. You've been there. A lot of horses don't like that track.
So especially when you win here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So then I said, okay, that's fine. And now what Bill can do is he can run here, and then that opens up everything. If he wants to go to the Run Happy, if he wants to run on the on Derby Day in the Grade 1, that's fine. So I don't view this as a negative or a give up is not the right word.
No.
Or a step back. I just feel like we're not going to Oaklawn. We'll just run here in this race, and he's 6-5.
He does get Lasix back on,
Ooh.
too, and I feel like that's a big thing, at least for a 6-year-old,
Yeah.
in my opinion. My notes last time said I just don't think that he's as good anymore, but on the sheets he still ran pretty fast,
Yeah.
so the Lasix going on can help. The number 2, Sweet Cherry Pie, another colt that is coming back for Rusty Arnold. He had a nice win at Turfway.
Yeah.
Cellist.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
surprising, yeah. Luis Saez gets aboard. This horse, I want to get a better look in the paddock. The work on 224 was with Red Carpet Ready. Worked really well with Red Carpet Ready. I didn't feel like he was 100% tight then. He's now had 2 works since then, and it's been a month, so I feel like he'll be a bit tighter here.
He's probably loose in here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. September layoff. Never really run against older horses in a spot like this, at least.
Yeah.
Boy, the works are good, and you got a front-end gate rider. So Rusty Arnold quietly had a very good meet. And I think the other thing, you mentioned Red Carpet Ready. Mm-hmm. She was off a very similar workout. So Rusty's popping here, and he's got the screws pretty tight.
The 7 Cool Kiss, you're going to have to talk me on this.
Well,
this
here's
guy.
the thing. That's all. It's just maybe a meltdown.
Okay.
That's all. I'm not saying he's going to win. He could be a really bad second's not the right word. He could be a distant second to Candyman Rocket. But there's going to be speed in here. Collaborates training like he wants to be forward again. Mm-hmm. There's cheap speed to the outside. Rock Crest might have to be, go for, with the apprentice from down on the inside. This could be a meltdown race, and that's all. I mean, obviously, Cool Kiss wants another turn and wants a heck of a lot farther. Mm-hmm. But maybe he runs on. That's all.
The problem for Sweet Cherry Pie is with the bug on the one Rock Crest.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to see him in front. That's Ed in our office. He
He
loves Sean Rivera, yeah. It's a good race, a really good race.
Could be a stakes race.
Yeah, it really could. There's just that kind of caliber of horses when you look at it, and it's excited to see how it unfolds. Race 10, the finale. Whoa. Sorry, there's a bug. Race 10, it's a maiden special weight for fillies here. It's 3 years old, off the grass, on the Tapeta at 1 1/16. We scratched the 10, a big field of 11 here. The 9 on top for you. Rogers Park, you got Tom Proctor home yesterday in the finale. You're going to try to do it again.
Yeah, well, I mean, this horse is chasing Wild, Beanpot, and Artemis Sound. Look at the splits in that race, 43-1. Edwin's here. He does good work with Tom Proctor. This is a Cantharos Dynaformer at the bottom of this pedigree. Dynaformer doesn't want to run 5 furlongs. He wants to run about 15 furlongs. I don't see anybody running with this horse early. I don't know if this horse is any good or not. She was 29-1 on debut. Remains to be seen. It's a speed play. It's a pace play for me.
My long shot's in here. That's the 4 Centuria. They will probably bet this filly because, like you mentioned, she's got that all-weather form over the pond. Gets Lasix for the first time. I saw one work on XBTV, and she's just a handy. She's just the typical Euro build. Those little kind of smaller fillies, but she travels well and she looks fit. I don't think you would have to do a lot to keep her fit.
No, and there's probably not a horse on the card that theoretically moves up more than her.
Yes.
A revised morning line would probably have her in the 4-1. You might get your 6-1 on it because it is a deep field. They're going to bet Positive Carry, who I don't want anything to do with. No. But her Tapeta race, I will say that her Tapeta race wasn't bad because Calispera is pretty darn good for Brian Lynch.
Yes, very good. We'll pull up the replay of Curlin's Girl and Marion's Cross because you do have Curlin's Girl. I've got Marion's Cross in the mix as well here. I mean, how did you feel about this race?
Well, anytime Lauriston's in a race, I don't really like it that much.
Yeah.
But with that being said, that was the first time Curlin's Girl ran on turf with Lasix, and it was a massive move forward. She fought pretty hard here when Hello Hollywood, kind of blitzed her.
Yep.
She's never tried the Tapeta, but Tony D does a good job. I always say this, too, about these Tapeta races, especially with maiden special weights, with, good horses that could be theoretically turned into something really nice. If the guys and the trainers, the guys and gals left them in here, they think they're going to handle it. And in them we trust. And in Tony Dutrow, you can do a lot worse. He's a really, really good horseman.
They'll bet the 3 Positive Carry,
sure.
And I think she did run well in the Tapeta 2 back. She left herself with way too much to do.
She did run well, and Calispera, the problem is Calispera was a month and a half the best in that race.
Yeah.
It's not indicative, the final margin, of how much the best she was. this horse is just a fade horse to me on top. I think you have to use her in your horizontals because if you've got prices early, you don't want to see her up there at 720 and you say, oh man, I didn't have her.
Yeah.
And I had a 17-1 earlier on, or your best bet who's not going to be favored, something like that. But just going to take another underlaid price on a Chad Brown horse for Mike Dubb that quite frankly is, not much better than anybody else.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide open race, especially if you're playing horizontals. You play the race flat, we can take a look at them, but it's hard, and we'll see how the Tapita's playing as well.
Absolutely, got to pay attention to that.
Yes, that is 10 of them for you today, but like we mentioned at the top of the hour, we had the Florida Derby draw yesterday. It went great. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Caribe and everybody upstairs and our video crew. They did a great job. Yep, everybody did a great job. You did as well. So did Ron, especially with the exiting. But here is the field.
This is it right here. We talked about it at the top. We'll talk about it at the bottom, and we'll talk about it all week long as well. Fierceness, the 2-year-old champion with the dual Hall of Famers, Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez, your 8-5 favorite. Like I said, I thought long and hard about swapping Hades and Conquest Warrior after the draw, but I feel like Conquest Warrior. Conquest Warrior has a 9-furlong race over here to our right. Yep. That's a big, big deal. And Hades is probably going to suss out as the one to catch for Joe Orsino and Paco and DJ Stable and company. Undefeated. He never gets bet. That's the other thing I wanted to note, too. He was not bet in really any of his races, so we'll see. The beauty of the Curlin Florida Derby, I've said this, you've said this, we've all said this, it's a real true race.
It is.
There's no short stretch finish line carrying anybody home. It's a real true 9-furlong race, and that's why it's been so successful en route to the Kentucky Derby, because you got to earn it out there.
You do. Yesterday we had the sister race of today's race, the Texas Glitter, and Frack Dancer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and he was one of the horses. We talked about it today in the Melody of Colors. He was one of the horses yesterday at 2 for 2 over the Tapita up at Woodbine. Boy, Mike DiPaolo. Credit to him and the team because he hadn't been out for a while.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, if he's doing this off a little bit of a layoff off a course he had never been over before, his buddies up at Woodbine are in trouble.
Yeah, and he did that on the wrong lead down the lane as well, so that's impressive. Congratulations to those connections. Of course, it's Sunday. We've got the Coast to Coast Pick 5. Yesterday it paid $1,700, and I saw some Bafferts sprinkled in that as well, so just a testament to how well this pays. 2 from here. It kicks off the feature, our stakes race, Melody of Colors.
There you go. So we'll get you to about 7:09 in the PM. A great bet, $1 and the 15% takeout's great.
Yep. Then we've got the Tropical Tapita Pick 3. It also includes the feature race as well. 15% takeout, $3 minimum.
Good one there for the player.
Yeah. And your best bet today?
Yeah, I'm Outlaw Country, a horse you have on top as well in race number 6.
I am Sweet Cherry Pie.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Your long shot.
Got to take you all the way to the finale at 5:36 in the PM with Rogers Park on a speed play.
And I've got the 4 in that same spot.
All right, there we go. Dueling long shots. I like it.
We do. We'll be with you throughout the day, as well as Ron Nicoletti. Happy to have everybody with us. Enjoy this beautiful Sunday. Just one weekend until Florida Derby.
6 days and counting.
All right. Best of luck. We'll send it upstairs to Pete Aiello with the scratches and the changes.